Taylor Swift, Joe Alwyn, the Coterie reacts. Narcissists have coteries and lieutenants. If you'd like to understand more about what that specifically means, good news for you. I have videos that address both of those aspects. Go find them, be educated. Some people talk about the concept of flying monkeys. I don't like that term, and if you watch my video, The Truth About Flying Monkeys, you'll be given access to understanding why such a term is not appropriate, and actually who it is that really uses it. The purpose of the coterie is to exist there to be supportive of the narcissist. The coterie varies in size and constitution dependent upon the type of narcissist that one is dealing with. The coterie can consist of tertiary sources, but more usually secondary sources, who are there to be supportive of the narcissist. Their support might be predicated on the fact of being family. I feel obligated, for instance, to support the narcissist because it's my son or my brother. In some instances, it's born out of friendship. Occasionally, it might be because it's colleagues and neighbours, but usually the sense of loyalty has been engendered as a consequence of family ties or with regard to friendship. And in those circumstances, that means that this coterie can be relied upon and utilised for the purposes of enabling the narcissist to gain support from them, gain fuel from them, and also to use that coterie in a way to extend their interests. The coterie forms part of the facade, for instance, so that the coterie accepts that this person is the hard-done-to victim at the breakup of a relationship, or continues to espouse views about the narcissist being a really kind and loving person, thus propping up the facade further. When a relationship ends, invariably people end up having to pick sides. It's rather difficult for someone to remain friends with both people. Usually, they were friends of one of the parties to a marriage or relationship and got to know the other person because of their relationship. And therefore, following a split, most of the time, they revert to remaining friends with the person that they were first involved with. So, a man who's friends with his friend John marries Rebecca. He gets to know Rebecca through that marriage and becomes friends with her, but when the couple split, he invariably reverts to remaining friends with John, and whilst he doesn't necessarily become the enemy of Rebecca, he certainly has less to do with her at all. With the narcissist expects total loyalty from those coterie members and, of course, the lieutenants. The coterie members are expected to take the side of the narcissist, and in many instances are therefore expected to have nothing to do with the other person, and indeed, in some instances, actually rail against them at the behest of the narcissist. It isn't so straightforward as the narcissist saying, "Oh, I want you to say nasty things about my ex," but rather that the narcissist will indirectly assert control through saying to their coterie members, "Oh, I was badly treated, and I had to get out, and you don't know the half of what this person has done to me." And the coterie members, rather than thinking there's two sides to each story, already biased towards the narcissist, believe what the narcissist has to say and take against the disengaged party. They swallow the Kool-Aid, if you will, believing that other person to be unpleasant. This may mean, therefore, that they are wholly supportive of the narcissist and have nothing to do with the other person, or in some instances, off their own volition, they actually go around telling awful things about the innocent victim, or even challenging themselves, confronting them, saying, "How dare you treat my friend this way?" leaving the victim stunned because he or she is the one that has actually suffered, not the other individual. Taylor Swift has a coterie, and her coterie has reacted to the demise of her relationship with Joe Alwyn, where she is disengaged from him as the intimate partner primary source. He now has the status of former intimate partner primary source. And as the Mail Online reports via Sharon May, Taylor Swift's inner circle has reportedly unfollowed her now ex Joe Alwyn in the past week. Seemingly taking sides with the 33-year-old songstress, her close pals, including her brother, Gigi Hadid, and the Haim sisters have all clicked unfollow on Instagram amid their shocking split. This, of course, is demonstrative of those Coterie members remaining loyal to the narcissist, although, of course, they don't know that that's what she is, and deciding, well, Joe, you're on the out now, you're on the outside, and so far we're sending you a signal by unfollowing you. Many Swifties, her loyal and eagle-eyed fans, claim that some of the songwriter's besties reportedly broke ties on Instagram just shortly after being spotted hanging out with the star and perhaps learning what really happened. Now, it might not be what really happened. Of course, as a narcissist, there's going to be propaganda that's provided, and she will have told them a particular view of the relationship, which undoubtedly those members of the coterie leaning more towards her are not going to question what she has to say. Instead, they'll be sympathetic, they'll be supportive, and it manifests in them making their own unilateral decision to have nothing to do with Mr. Alwyn. The bold moves on social media appear to suggest that there may be more to the breakup than the public is aware of. Just after catching up over dinner with longtime friends Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, for instance, the Deadpool actor allegedly immediately unfollowed Alwyn. It would appear that Mr. Alwyn is being smeared. He may have been smeared during the relationship, so that when things were difficult in terms of him threatening Taylor Swift's control, she commented about him unfavourably to members of the coterie, thus starting to create a picture of him as being unpleasant, envious, difficult. And then, of course, at the point of the relationship ending, she perhaps throws further dirt in his direction, smearing him in greater detail. This enables her to assert control over him indirectly, because the people agree with her, oh, that's not very good conduct, I'll stop following him. That act of agreement and unfollowing gives her a subconscious sense of control over Mr. Alwyn and the knowledge that she has been able to bring this about. It provides her with that knowledge of control. It provides her with control over the non-intimate secondary source, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and also obtains indirect control over Alwyn. She knows why she's doing it. She may well be basing it on the truth, or more usually, some kind of half-truth or untruth, but she doesn't care, because he has been deemed to be treacherous and a traitor, and therefore Mr. Alwyn's on the out. Accordingly, other people need to know about this. Not because Taylor Swift is interested in getting people to be sympathetic towards her, although they may well be so, but rather to prove a point to Mr. Alwyn. I'm more powerful than you. These are my friends. They're not yours. They were only nice to you because of me. This is not being done by way of seeking pity from her friends. It is a power play on the part of Taylor Swift to demonstrate to Mr. Alwyn that she has this coterie, that the coterie are hers, that the coterie includes these famous people that he only got to know through her, and now you're frozen out. You're persona non grata. You are a nobody. It is to reinforce this state of mind and state of being. The obvious snub was a shocking move, considering Reynolds had previously gushed about the British actor and their 6-year-long friendship in a Time 100 Next article published in September 2022. Also tells you something that you need to know about Ryan Reynolds. The multi-Grammy winner's younger brother Austin Swift has unfollowed Alwyn. The Conversation with Friends star still follows him. A few others who were quick to click unfollow were some of Swift's gal pals after they were spotted hanging out in New York City on Thursday. Shortly after spending time with the Midnight Singer, supermodel Gigi Hadid, as well as the three Haim sisters, reportedly all unfollowed the favourite star. It's hard to confirm if they ever followed Alwyn in the first place, but Swift's observant and perceptive fans shared screenshots of the Victoria's Secret Angels following list less than 24 hours later. Reports also show that the three sisters making up the rock band Haim, Alana, Danielle and Estee, allegedly all followed suit. Of course, this may all seem to you like the tittle-tattle of schoolyard behaviour, but what's actually occurring here is that Taylor Swift is mobilising her coterie to send a very clear signal to her former intimate partner, primary source, to say, I'm the one that's in control. I'm the one that's powerful. You were only friends with these people because of me, and now you are no longer. I am the power. You are persona non grata. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.